Players thinking about one of their heroes, someone they all pretty much grew up watching, is Brandon Ingram blocked going to the basket.
Well, when you're watching this game today, both teams get up and down.
Brown is back in the lineup, starting for the Celtics after missing the last 2 games. Nice layup by Kemba Walker, rimming out. And Williamson with the rebound. Zion playing in his...
Players at this level bounce off of him. Now, will he get back to the conditioning that he had in the exhibition season? That's the big question.
Kemba Walker missing from deep. Yeah, Zion.
Offensive rebounds, and we haven't even played 7 minutes.
Zion got some shots up while he was in. He's 2 for 7 already. Ingram and 1. And speaking of fouls, Ingram with his 2nd foul. He goes to the bench. Josh Hart in the ball game.
Now that's big now because he's your key guy at 25 points a game.
Hayward inside and 1.
Last year he was over 90.
Here's Walker guarded by Ball. Nice pocket pass. Tice with the hammer finish.
You notice how they just cleared out that side, gave that depending upon how many games they play in a week.
Tice from deep this time, off the mark, rebounded by Ojale. Hayward had an ocean. Kemba with a great ball fake and go. Denver. He's already got a couple of 3 balls here.
Well, look, he's your 2nd leading scorer, has been all year. He's had a terrific year because he is an outstanding defender for them.
Pull up 3 by Walker. He's 0 for 5. J.J. Redick knocking down the 3. And the Pelicans winning by 6 points, approaching 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And Walker coming off that 37-point game, now 0 for 6
for him because he just made a bad play. A bad pass, and then they attacked him, froze him defensively to get the basket.
Holiday going to try another one. That 3-pointer coming up short. And back comes Kemba Walker. Kemba going to be making his 4th All-Star appearance, his 1st as a Celtic. Tice had it bounce off that too. Kemba Walker gets it back. Defers to Jaylen Brown, did a little hand walk move, balancing himself, and then coming up to make the shot. Melly inside, couldn't get the rebound from Grant Williams. Undersized, but outduels everybody.
Oh, great pass.
Smart with the reverse layup on a great dime from Kemba Walker.
Now you talk about a great pass.
Sounds a little unfair as Williamson goes 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Kemba Walker inside, still hasn't gotten on the board.
Oh, good defense.
Good defense by Ball.
Yep.
And Melly corrals the loot in 10 minutes for Zion Williamson. 4 of 10 from the field. Played about 5.5 minutes in the first quarter. Walker finally gets on the sheet.
He is quick. He can play a center or a power forward because of his size, but he can shoot the 3.
Turnaround jumper on the baseline is good by Walker's 2nd consecutive field. Ingram a candidate this year for most improved player, and an outside shot, I think, of making the All-Star team. Walker now with 3 buckets for the Celtics coming quickly.
Now how about he continued to put the books for children, etc. And how absorbed he was within that production company. And they all know that Kobe, because a lot of them really might not have seen that would spend time with him in the summers, and they would come in sections, and he would just work with them individually with no fanfare, just trying to improve their games and offer them a better insight into their profession.
Well said.
He came into this game, the last 2 games, only shooting 27%. We know that he has improved his shooting close to 50%, and then also the 3-ball. And
Doc Rivers competing against Kobe Bryant several times as a coach to player. Remembering Bryant in a heartfelt news conference prior to their game. As Ingram drives, has it knocked out there,
trying to get them to take the charges in the rotation.
Hey, how nice is it as a coach to not have someone saying, "Hey, coach, you gonna run a play for me"?
No,
you like that, right?
Yeah, except for one thing, that never happens. Okay. Yeah, that's wishful thinking.
Zion Williamson on the bench, but his team taking care of business more from deep.
That they had going into this thing. Back to you.
Yeah, Kemba Walker 3 of 11 with the ball right now for the Celtics. Gets downhill. And Ingram with Eddie against Boston in the period. Ingram Off the screen.
Nice, but he waited too long. See, he turned his back and he lost Favors. Favors was
Playing very well for the Pelicans. Their leading scorer on the season. 25.2 points per game coming into this one here today.
Yeah.
Walker into the paint. The scoop
Nice.
shot, good.
Now that's pretty. He's
Their assistant coaches that specializes in shooting. Smart got ripped. Zion, they got a 2-on-1 ball, and Williamson and Zion threw it away.
Bad decision. Yeah.
Marcus Smart out to Jaylen Brown. The side pocket three is pure. And Meyer. And a good defensive stance that time in sequence by the Celtics.
Oh, look out here.
Quick outlet to Hayward. Kemba Walker from the corner. Boy, that was halfway down.
Plays either the glass or the Swiss shot, a little floater.
Kemba Walker on the blow by, got right by Williamson. And Kemba Walker with his puts him and Jason Tatum in great positions to succeed.
He has 15 points. Very quiet. You wouldn't even know he was in the game. Okay?
And on the run
at 15.
Got a 3-on-2. There he is.
Pretty.
Drove and got the foul. Rookie from Calamar, France. Walker on the drive-by. Couldn't finish.
Oh, look at this.
Jackson with the long jump shot. Zion on the bench. He has 7 offensive rebounds in this ball game. And Alvin Gentry telling us prior to the game tonight that he feels that Williamson is about 4 or 5 games away. Holiday probing inside. Hart for 3. And an offensive rebound for the Pelicans. Jackson Hayes fouled from behind. 17-point lead after the free throw. Kemba Walker splits the double. Man, Houdini. Kemba Walker makes it 83-60.
Appreciate it.
16-point lead for the Pelicans. Of course, Zion could end up in the Hall of Fame sometime. Whistle and a foul going to go against Frank Jackson. Walker out front. Here's Green. Walker, who he only needs a sliver of daylight, and he buries another 3. All right, Rachel, 1:23 to go here, and this is a quick turnaround. We have an 8-point contest. Jackson into the paint. Kemba Walker has really gotten
7-some game. That's his 3rd 3. He's 3 for 6 in the 3-ball.
Tasked with guarding Walker at the other end. Walker left it. Kemba Walker can bring the Celtics back. He had a huge 3rd quarter. Kemba with a little hesitation off glass.
See, you
and on cue, he gets it to fall.
Yeah, you got to cut him off. You cannot allow 8 bench points.
And Alvin Gentry has had to tweak his rotation now with the addition of Williamson. Looking at 8, either 9 guys sometime.
Not have a great depth this year.
Watch Zion Williamson move his feet on Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker does that to a lot of guys, not just rookies.
Remember we said now that 10 times, that's pretty good, especially with the shooting percentages.
33 now for Walker. Brandon Ingram was 16, a long 2 on the way. Rebounded by Walker, and Zion just...
Guy number 1 is one of the quickest guys in the league. And after 10 games, he's going to be blowing out on all fast breaks.
Kemba Walker halfway down and out ball with a nice
force a jumper when it's a close game.
And on the shot clock for Favors, they go to Ingram. Zion Williamson with the hammer.
There you go. It's the floor.
And Zion continues to struggle at the free throw line. He's got to work on his foul shots now. 1 of 6. Kemba missing at the other end.
Come on, get it up here now, because you got an advantage. You got